Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching the station identification of one of Wayland City's resident YouTubers. Live in the basement. This is not MTV's remote control. And he is not Ken Ober. God rest Ken Ober's soul. This is WEML-TV, Channel 77. And now here's your host, New Bedford, Massachusetts' own, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you, Mr. Announcer. Hey, welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel, known as WEML-TV, Channel 77, Episode 362. I am the host of the show, Mr. Eric Lima. What's going on, everybody? I know you saw Rant and Rave podcast number 91, the return of me on the show. It was great for me to come back and join Uriel Ibarra, David C. Dennis, Michael Bombardier, Jordan Little, and Brandon Martin. We had a lot of fun, and it was fun to come back. And I thank the people in the chat, if you haven't seen it yet, for welcoming me back. I appreciate it. A lot of things, like I said, everything's been cleared up. Everything's been ready to go. But we have some troubling weather tomorrow, as I think it's going to tropical storm warning all the way out around till 4 o'clock. I mean, unless something happens here. Unless something changes, and I just pray that we all stay safe. I know the Wayland City Festival will be a washout in the beginning, so I'm hoping to go so I can enjoy the Wayland City Festival. But right now we're going to talk about some Impact Wrestling. That's right, Impact Event Center for the July 8th, 2021. On the last episode, I talked about NXT UK. Now it's Impact Wrestling. Kenny Omega and Don Callis arrive at the Impact Zone. Interviewed by Gia Miller about the contract signing for that's going to happen tonight. Brian Myers went one-on-one with Jake Something. Jake Something did defeat him, and then Brian Myers decided, well, I'm going to have a chat, and wants to chat. We'll try to have a chat, but Sam Beal attacked Jake Something from behind, which prompted the return of Matt Cardona. So Matt Cardona came back and evened up the sides. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Cardona and Brian Myers finally go at each other in Slammiversary. We'll find out for sure. Gia Miller interviews Deonna Purrazzo, says that Deonna Purrazzo basically says she has no challengers. So she says she's going to go out there and issue an open challenge. So, and that was before the commercial break. After the commercial break, Gia Miller interviewed Sami Callihan, and Callihan was about to talk about his matchup until a sheriff deputy came by and had Callihan arrested for basically assaulting on Don Callis. So, a little bit more on that. On the Knockouts title was on the line. Deonna Purrazzo defended the title against the debuting Lady Frost. And Lady Frost put up a fight, but in the end, Deonna Purrazzo did pick up the victory. And Deonna Purrazzo was running her mouth about being the best knockouts. And so Gail Kim came out and said basically that Deonna Purrazzo will defend her title at Slammiversary against a mystery opponent. So it'll be very interesting to see who this mystery opponent is in Impact Wrestling. There's been lots of names out there that have been released, so who knows? So it's got to be somebody brand new. Could be somebody, a lot of releases out there. We will find out for sure who will be challenging Deonna Purrazzo at Slammiversary. So, Swingers Palace took, strangely, Johnny Swinger and Johnny Bravo was not there. More on that situation. But Alicia Edwards took over, along with the Swingerellas, and then Chris Sabin decided to visit, and was about to ask Swingerella how her cat surgery was doing. And then Moose did attack Chris Sabin, and Hernandez was the enforcer, though he was there, but he tried to stop him, and then Moose attacked him. And basically, and Moose basically says, you want me at Slammiversary? You got it. So Gia Miller interviewed Chris Bay about about why he made the decision. He says that Trey Miguel is not his friend, but he says he's a brother for life. And I think that's the respect that Chris Bay has for Trey Miguel. So, and that could be the reason why he made that decision. W. Morrissey, formerly known as Big Cass, took on 3 guys, Manny Smith, Deontay Evans, and Jason Page. Beforehand, though, he cut a promo on Eddie Edwards saying Eddie Edwards wants a match against him at Slammiversary. He said, you got it. I accept. And so he took on all 3 guys and beat all 3 guys. So, and then he had a Knockouts Division promo about what the Knockouts Division means to the current crop of Knockouts. And so Gia Miller interviewed Don Callis about the situation with Sami Callihan. And Callis says that Sami Callihan hit him and assaulted him. And that's why he wanted to press charges. And then they showed footage about... They showed the footage about how it happened. It's like Sami Callihan was in a mask or something like that. But I knew something was not right. I said, Don Callis is an outlier. And then, so more on that situation. Susan and Kimberly took on Rosemary Havoc, the number 1. Basically, whoever wins this match will get a shot to Knockouts Tag Team titles against Fire and Flavor. It's Kira Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Rosemary Havoc did pick up the victory after miscommunication by Susan and Kimberly. But then they had the segment of All About Me with Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. Jazz was their guest. And so, they're trying to ask questions and all that. And Tennille Dashwood says, but then Jazz about had enough, tried to walk away. And then Tennille Dashwood attacks Jazz from behind. And then during the commercial break, Rachel Ellering and Jordan Grace helped Jazz up. And then both ladies had enough of Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. And they said, you're next on our hit list. So it'll be very interesting to see how this turns out. Rich Swann and Willie Mack came to the ring and cut a promo about the tag team championship situation. And they said they want to shot the belts. But then TJP and Fallah Bahh said, hey, I know you want to destroy VBD, Violent by Design. So do we, but we want to shot the belts. And then Violent by Design interrupt both teams. And then got to have a stare down with all 4 men in the ring. Then the Good Brothers interrupt all 3 teams. And then Tommy Dreamer came out and said, you know what? Since D'Amore's got to deal with the legal situations with Sami Callihan, I'll make a match. Fatal 4-way for the tag team championships. That means the Good Brothers versus the Filipino team of TJP and Fallah Bahh, Rich Swann and Willie Mack, and the 2 members of Violent by Design, Diener and Doring, I think, or any members of Violent by Design for those. But VBD are the tag team champions. Be well that in mind. But they had a 4-way matchup, a little preview. TJP versus Diener versus Rich Swann versus Carl Anderson. Anderson did win the matchup in a great 4-way. But then their bigger counterparts. This is going to be a fun matchup next week. It'll be Willie Mack versus Doring versus Fallah Bahh versus Luke Gallows. The ring better be reinforced for this one. And then Susan and Kimberly would complain, talk about Ross. Susan was getting upset. But then James Mitchell shows up and talks to them and says, well, Susan, why don't you come in here? So who knows? I think if I were James Mitchell, I would mishmatch between Susan, Su Yung, and Susie and get Suzanne. I don't know. About this, the viciousness of Su Yung, the beauty of Susie, the intelligence of Susan. Combine them all, get Suzanne. That could be. I don't know. So I don't know if Su Yung is actually going to make. We'll see what happens. We'll see what actually happens because that's an idea of mine. How about this? How about this? I think Su Yung should kick this thing up a notch. Think about it. You get the viciousness of Su Yung, the intelligence of Susan, and the beauty of Susie. All right, you mix them all up, you get Suzanne. Have a combination. I don't know. We'll see what James Mitchell has conjured up here when it comes to Susan. Well, they had the Impact World Title contract signing. And so Kenny Omega did sign the contract first. And then Don Callis says, we have no challenger, and blah, blah, blah. And then they showed the footage But then, the same footage where, supposedly Sami Callihan hit Don Callis. But here's the crazy part. Took it off. It was Johnny Bravo, and Johnny Swinger was taping the whole thing. I'm like, what in the world's going on? So I was like, aha. But then, everybody's like, I was like, I knew it. We're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I knew Callis was an out-and-out liar. He had everything set up to look like Sami Callihan did it, but was actually Johnny Bravo and Johnny Swinger. And then lights went out. Once my God, here comes Sami Callihan. Both men decided to brawl out. Pile driver and then a powerbomb through the table, and after the signed the contract, so the match is on. I'm telling you, Don Callis, they knew he was an out-and-out liar. And I'm hoping that Sami Callihan really destroys him in the middle of the ring. And hopefully Omega gets beat for the championship. So, that is all the time we have on this show because it is getting late. I'm going to try to get some sleep and some shut-eye and get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a long, long day because, unfortunately, it is going to be on the rainy side. They'll put a damper on things for the Whalen City Festival. So we'll see what happens there. I'm kind of hoping that, hope the weather people are wrong. Sometimes, you get to pay the job to be wrong. But right now, it looks like it seems on course. So, still a weather alert. I haven't heard anything out from us else yet. So, that's all the time we have. Episode 362 of WEML-TV Channel 77. Impact Wrestling, Impact Event Center for July the 8th, 2021. All right, I will see you guys later, and I will see you on the next episode. Until that next episode, peace, love, bless out.